was in a Starbucks tonight conducting some research on my computer, and I suddenly looked up and I saw this Asian woman glaring at me, like just sitting there glaring at me. And so I kind of I looked at her back, like I just gave her a blank stare, and she kind of rolled her eyes and looked back at the person whom she was speaking with. And you guys, I get that all the time here. I get it all the time, where I will be sitting somewhere and either I'll look up and I'll see these people staring at me, like glaring, like not in a positive way. I know when you can feel the energy. I don't think a lot of melanated people can. So maybe I should just speak for myself here. I can feel the energy here. You guys, I've been in Asia for, I would say about 3 years now. Close to 3 years now. I've been in Asia and living in a few different countries, and I must say that I know the difference. I know the difference in America. Anywhere you are, you should know the difference between a glare, a stare, somebody who's looking at you and maybe they're interested in talking to you, but they are a little scared. I mean, you know the difference, and the feeling that you get when someone is looking at you. I don't care where you are on this planet. And I say that because in Asia, in a specific country in Asia, I always get the glaring stare. It's like, I know no matter where I am here in this particular country, I don't care where I am, I can just look up or look around. Maybe I'm looking at my phone, maybe I'm on the bus, or maybe I'm on the metro station and I'm looking at my phone. I'm just preoccupied, and then I'll snap out of it, look around, and then I'll find someone looking at me. And I have to say, especially when it comes to the women here, I have been glared at a lot. So how you know when somebody is glaring at you rather than just staring and are curious is sometimes you'll look up and they'll, look away. Or if it's a stare, let me be clear. If it is a stare, they'll look away. They'll quickly look away. Now, if it is, maybe they're interested in you, or they want to talk to you, or they like you, or they find you attractive, or whatever the case may be, they'll smile. If it's a stare, just a stare out of curiosity, they'll blink away because they know it's rude. But if it is a glare, they want to make eye contact with you and let you know that they don't like you. And in this particular Asian country, I find it to be, I experience the glaring more often. And I think before I went off on a tangent, I was about to say that in this, I get my energy, the energy. And the reason why I was speaking specifically about me is because, you guys, I've been on YouTube a lot, and I've seen several videos where melanated people like to make excuses for people, especially in this particular country. We like to make excuses for the way we are treated here. Now, I'm not saying that we need to come over here and Martin Luther King Jr. these people, because that is not my approach. Do I feel like I belong here? No. Do I feel like I should leave? Yes. Do I feel like any melanated person belongs here? Absolutely not. But you do have those melanated people who actually come over here and live for 10 plus years. And I ask them, how do you stay here? How have you stayed here so long? Like what keeps you here? and they make excuses for their the racism and the discrimination that they receive. And I'm sorry, you guys, I cannot do it. Now, in other Asian countries, you will receive the, especially in East Asian countries, you will experience the racism and discrimination as well, but it's at a different degree. I find that in Southeastern Asian countries, the women they tend to the women and the men they tend to be a little bit more friendlier and a little bit more I guess you could say mannerable and conscious of different types of behaviors. For example, they know that pointing and staring is rude, maybe in certain Southeastern Asian countries. Perhaps maybe you won't feel it to this degree. You'll also find that a lot of the staring will end in a nice smile or something. But here, these bitches, I'm sorry, but it irritates me and it aggravates me that these bitches will have the nerve to stare you down and want you to lock eyes with them just so that they can look at you in disgust and let you know that they find you to be disgusting. Now, I don't understand how other melanated people can rationalize their behavior and even go so far as to excuse it and to feel bad for these people. This is just a bad energy. This is just, they have no sense of spirituality or humanity within them, because this lady sat up there, and this wasn't the first time this happened tonight. There was another woman who sat in front of me and she stared at me, and then she looked, and then I looked at her, and then I gave her the same stare back. So this is something that these women like to do in this country. Now, I want to move on to the way this woman, her level of attractiveness and her appearance. So, in this particular country, I don't believe these people think they can be unattractive. Like, it doesn't exist here. I'm not sure how the men here express their desire for women, because you guys, in America, I've been in the U.S. military. You guys, I've just been around men, worked with men. I have men in my family. I've just been surrounded by men my whole entire life, and I know how they express, their desire for women, or that they are attracted to women. For example, in the military, I was always around men. They were always comparing women. Oh, she's a 9 out of a 10, or oh, I wouldn't sleep with her. Oh, I would sleep with her, but I wouldn't marry her. It's just we know that in America, American men have the tendency to focus on outer appearances. But I don't know if it's like that here. And in America, that's why women, we, a lot of us can be a little self-conscious because of American society and culture when it comes to attractiveness. But here, I don't think it exists here to that level, because I don't believe these women think they can be unattractive. I think the most important thing here when it comes to being beautiful and attractive is to have light skin, to bleach your skin, and to hide under umbrellas during the summer. I think that's it. You don't need makeup here. You don't need plastic surgery. You don't need anything, which they do. But I'm just speaking in general. I'm speaking about the most important. Yes, these women do get plastic surgery. There are other things that they are insecure about. But I'm just speaking. We know that in this particular country, and I'm saying foreigners, the foreigners here, we know what's the most important thing, um, as far as beauty, what is considered beautiful here, and that is to have light skin. You can be fat here, you can be overweight, you can be obese, you can just be a whole hot mess, acne all up in your face, just unattractive, just a 1 out of a 10 here, and I'm sorry, based on Western standards. But as long as you have light skin here, you are automatically beautiful, because I don't believe this level of attractiveness exists in this society, because otherwise you wouldn't have this woman sitting here staring at me. And when you look at this woman by Western standards, she is not an attractive woman at all. Nothing about her is attractive. Not her skin tone, her hair, her face, her body. Nothing about this woman oozes femininity or sexuality. Nothing. Like, the average man is not going to automatically get, I could go so deep, because it infuriates me and it pisses me off that I have to, well, I don't have to, because I'm here voluntarily, but it pisses me off that I am sitting across from this hideous woman who is glaring at me because she doesn't like dark skin. And the nerve of her to look like that, and to have the audaciousness of it all, for her to glare at someone else, to look down on someone else with that hideous face of hers. So, you guys, honestly, I wouldn't recommend that melanated people come here, or to Asia at all. Again, I hear a lot of melanated people, and when I say on YouTube, I'm talking about the ones who, do these interviews with people like Wodamaya, and I think there's another very popular YouTube channel. I think it's called the Black Experience. So, I hear Black people who have been living in Asia making up all of these excuses for the racism and discrimination that they receive here. For example, I heard one African American woman who lives in Vietnam excuse the racism that she receives in Vietnam. She says that they come up to her and tell her that she's black and dirty, and she says, and her response was that, oh, well, they're just ignorant. They've never been around black people. That doesn't mean they have to walk up to you and tell you that you are dirty. You don't have to accept that just because they've never been around a black person. And you guys, I've noticed that what I've experienced, because I am a firecracker. I will fire back off on their asses. And it's good that when I came here, I realized that, it's not a good idea for me to learn the language here, or I would have been deported by now, because I would fire back off on their asses. And I was about to say that since I've been here, I've noticed they're so fragile. They're so fragile. You say one little itsy bitsy thing that even remotely offends them or their culture, they're going to crash. Like, I've seen them almost to the point where they are about to cry if you offend them. They're easily crushable. Easily. So this is why I say Black people are so weak and docile. Like, it's so easy to offend these people and to easily I just find it to be so easy to offend them, because I've done it back to them, and they'll oh my god, I could give you guys some examples, but I could do that's in another video. But it's so easy to crush them. So I'm not going to sit up here and make an excuse for somebody glaring at me because she doesn't like how I look, or for somebody coming up to me telling me that I am dirty, or that, you're black. all this bull crap that we have to put up with in these countries. And again, I think I was about to go into Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not coming over here to Martin Luther King Jr. These people. I'm not going to beg anyone to accept me. But what we do need to learn how to do is how to stop being so goddamn docile and to start fighting them back equally, because it's very easy to crush them. Very easy. They are so easily offended. That's why I don't learn the language here, because I know I will make them cry. Because if I had known, if that lady had spoken English, or if I had known her language, it would have been a totally different story that I'm recording right now in that Starbucks. But I don't waste my time, because getting, confrontational with them, because a lot of times they can't even speak your language. So what's the point? And looking like an idiot arguing with someone who you can't even communicate with, But you guys, I just can't believe how many melanated people, black people, come over here and make excuses for it. Tonight, while sitting in Starbucks, I got the ugliest, most evil stares from two Asian women who aren't even attractive themselves. Just bottom of the barrel, basic looking, bad body bitches. This is what you have to deal with when you come to Asia. You have to deal with these little ugly ass Asian bitches who don't look like any fucking thing and think they can just look down on a melanated woman because you're dark. So it pisses me off. And what pisses me off even more than the racism and discrimination that you experience here is when you get on YouTube looking for like-minded black people in Asia, and all you can fucking find is other black people making excuses for the shit. That pisses me off even more. It's ridiculous. I don't care if Asian people never put us on a goddamn slave ship. That doesn't have anything to do with it, because, you guys, in fact, that's the excuse. That's their number one excuse. Well, it's different. The racism that we experience in Asia is different from the racism that we experience in America because the Asians never enslaved us. So that's what makes a difference. The Asian people think you are black, ignorant, primitive, and ugly, just like how the Europeans thought you were before they put your ass on those slave ships. That's exactly what the European people thought of African people when they first saw them. They thought you were ignorant, ugly, primitive, and the lowest, just the scums of the fucking earth. And you didn't deserve to be nothing but slaves. And that's what the Asians think of you. So what's the fucking difference when you really go deep into history? What's the fucking difference? There is no difference. I can tell you, when I was in America, I had transferred schools. I started attending a school in Florida. So one night I ended up in this town in America, right? In Florida. And I saw this hot wing place, you guys, because I love buffalo wings. So I went inside and I looked around, and all I saw was Caucasoids. And when I walked up in there, they all looked and stared at me. So I felt uncomfortable. So I got my ass up and I walked out. And as I was leaving, I was at the door, about to open the door. I heard them yell, and it was more than one. They yelled, "Goodbye." Listen, and when I tell you, I've had the same fucking experience in Asia, where I've walked into an establishment and they did not want me there. Nobody wanted to serve me. So can you really fucking tell me what is the difference? There is no difference. So this is why black people are never going to progress. Because we're sitting over here. First of all, Asian people have taken over our communities in America. When we can actually kick their asses out, steal source from them, buy their products for pennies on a fucking dollar, buy a goddamn eyeliner for 5 cents in USD, ship that shit to America and sell it to our own people. I'm not saying we can't do business with them, because hell, they do business with us, but they don't like us, but they know how to get the money. We don't know how to get the money. We don't know how to manufacture anything. We don't know how to build industries. But all we know how to do is beg white daddy and Asian daddy for everything. We don't know how to do anything. We don't own anything. And I think buy an eyeliner from China. Get them out of our communities. Buy an eyeliner from China for 1 fucking cent. 5 cents. Ship that shit to America and sell it for 99 cents or 1.49 to our own people. Why are they in our communities? These people do not fucking like us. And then, not only have they taken over our communities in America, but then when we come to their countries and they treat us like shit, we make excuses for. Oh, well, it's not the same as the racism we experienced from the Europeans because they never enslaved us. And they've never seen black people before. What? Like, who gives a fuck? That's no excuse to be evil, to be as evil and disgusting as these people have been to melanated people. There's no excuse for it. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the excuses. This is why black people will never progress. How dare we make excuses for the racism we receive? You are making excuses for the people who are oppressing you, for the people who are recolonizing Africa as we speak right now, for the people who literally go to Africa. Tell the Africans they can't come into their restaurants. This is unbelievable. Go to Africa, build casinos and hotels, and won't hire the African people. Tell the African people they can't come to the restaurants or the hotels. What the fuck? And then you come to their country and make excuses for them. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, there are and I understand it. Trust me, I understand it, and I know I have to leave. There are European people here who look at me and say, like, European people here are puzzled as fuck. They're puzzled. They look and they're like, why are you here? Like, they're really confused. Like, it's like mind fucking boggling to them why black people come here. They're like, why are y'all even here? They treat you like shit. Now, do you think I'm the type of person or the black person that'll sit there and tell those and make up 1,000 excuses to those European people? Well, it's okay because they don't know. They don't understand. They've never seen black people before. It's their government. And the European people are like the European people here, they really think we're stupid for being here. Like, I know it. I literally know it. Like, for example, I had this one black guy. He told me he was from America, you guys. But when I asked him about Martin Luther King Jr., he started talking about that European Martin Luther. I think he was a Protestant or something. And I was like, okay, goodbye, dude. But anyways, he told me that, and this goes back to what I was previously saying. But this black guy who claims to be from America said that his European friend, they were in a supermarket, and his European friend looked at him and was like, does it not bother you that they have a word that is very similar to nigger? And he was like, and this black guy was like, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm okay with it. You know, I'm like, Black people, we have to wake up. Wow, we are the only freaking people on this earth that would tolerate this. And just to think that we can't laugh at the African people. We can't. We allow this in our own communities. How many times have y'all seen the videos on YouTube where a black woman gets into it with the with her nail artist at the nail salon, and the whole fucking nail salon, all of the Asians working in the nail salon attacks that woman, attacks that black woman? How many? Because they're always on code. Black people are never on code. Never on code. And I'm going to do a part 2 because we need to wake up. We don't have to cut these people off, but we can just only use them for their money. Yet we sit up here and give all of our money to the people who disrespect us. Have y'all seen the commercials that Asian people release here? Have y'all seen any of these commercials where they're putting black men in washing machines? Like, it is unbelievable how disrespectful these people are to black people, and yet we make excuses for them. We allow them into our communities. Africa is allowing them to take over their freaking economy, while at the same time they're over there on their soil beating the local Africans, telling them they can't come into their restaurants and eat. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how silly we are. And sometimes, you guys, I have to agree with the perception that most people, Europeans, Asians, Indians, like at some point, I have to agree with what these people think of black people. They think we're stupid. They think how stupid? We can't be smart. There's nothing intelligent about allowing people who hate you, or first of all, begging the same people who were putting you on trees at the same time that these people were hanging us on trees, telling us we can't live in their communities, we can't go to their schools, we have to ride at the back of the bus. We beg these same people to integrate with them. That's number one. Number two, their Mongoloid counterparts hate us, make the most disgusting commercials about dark skin. We allow these people to come into our communities and sell to us. And number three, we come to their countries and make excuses for the hate. We make excuses for how much they hate us. I cannot. You guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.